Oh my God, you're back. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a very special video today because if you notice, there's something missing in my life, and that's my phone. I just did a week-long digital detox and it was life-changing, and I want to tell you guys all the things that I learned personally. And also, I've got my trusty notebook because I've been writing notes. I write now. So I'm going to show you right now what I write now. So guys, I just Googled this, and this is a real statistic, I'm not making this up. I just read that based on research with 1,800 people, active social media users were 2.7 times more likely to be depressed. And I feel like mild depression is on the rise. I think that there's a lot of amazing changes that we could all do to make it so we are not so stressed out or burnt out. All right, so I'm gonna share with you guys 8 things that I learned through my digital detox. And I really, truly did not have my phone for 1 second for a full week. And it was so scary at first, but then by the end of the week, I did not wanna have my phone. I can't do one video without you figuring out how to get up here. God damn it, Rue. Okay guys, so these are my actual notes that I took at Hoffman Institute. I just went there for a week. So I personally went because I am a workaholic and I now know that it is an actual issue. I tend to like people please and I say yes to everybody for everything, and I found myself in a place where my body this year literally has been like begging me to pay attention to it. So you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I fainted back in December. I was dehydrated, overworked, and then I had a herniated disc in my neck from being on my phone and my computer too much. So I decided to commit to a full week at the Hoffman Institute because I personally was dealing with anxiety in my life, and I had issues from my adult life because I am a workaholic and I was just overworking myself for years. The other things that you can go if you're having issues with like any sort of life transition, if you're trying to heal from any childhood issues that you just haven't dealt with, if you have challenges in your relationship with your parents, or if you're having a hard time as a parent, if you have depression, which is a lot of times genetic and hereditary, if you are having a difficult marriage or your partnership is just really, really struggling, if you've gone through like any sort of like breakup that you can't get over, or a divorce and you're trying to just adjust, if you are having bouts of like isolation and loneliness, it's a really good idea to talk to somebody about it. And then if you just kind of want more out of life, and I just felt like I could have been happier than I was, and I'm generally a very happy person, but I just felt like I was just run down and just really tired, and I wanted to just feel like myself again. So Hoffman is an amazing program. There's also other alternatives out there if you want to research. I know there's something called Pathways, but go and search and see what's closest to you because there are so many amazing alternatives out there. They do experiential, is that right? A lot of the activities are experiential. Why does it feel so weird to say? Experiential. So a lot of activities are like experiential, and you do like visual. I can't talk anymore, but I feel great. There were visualizations and you do meditations, but a lot of it was like journal writing, just being still with your thoughts and like figuring out, like taking a look at your life and seeing what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and what you can be doing better. All right, so tip number 1 is turn off the notifications on your phone. All right guys, tip number 1 is turn the notifications off on your phone. I don't understand why they exist. It's so annoying. All of us are all guilty of looking at our phone way too much throughout the day, and so having a little chirp that tells you to pick up your phone, I just think it's such a nuisance, and it interrupts conversations. It gives you anxiety when you're like doing something and it reminds you about something else. It totally sidetracks you from whatever you're focused on, so I would definitely say turn off notifications. Okay guys, tip number 2 is don't feel guilty for having downtime. Like I know so many of my friends, we were talking about this at dinner the other night, and so many people don't know what to do if they have any like quiet time. And I think because of like hustle porn, which I've been guilty of, we all feel like we need to do we have to be doing something at all hours of the day, or else you're not like winning, or you're not being productive enough. So like your mind needs to rest throughout the day. So I personally have been working on that for the past couple weeks, and it's been super helpful to not just like fill my downtime with scrolling through Instagram. So here are my tips, what you can do instead. Go for a walk. Mike and I, at the end of our days, will always take Rue out, and just going out and getting fresh air and like actually not having our phones and being super present is amazing. I highly suggest it. Look up. I feel like we're always looking down. Like even when we're walking with our phones, like we're always looking down. So like how about just walk and like look up and notice the sky and the trees and what's going on around you. I highly suggest reading. You can actually buy books, they still make them. So read a book, or read a book on your phone if you have to, but like I think getting away from the screen is a good thing. Meditate. I know it sounds so alay, but you guys, it's been around for a long time. It works for a lot of people. If you Google like Oprah does it, like it's good enough for Oprah, it's good enough for us. So there's apps called Headspace. If you just type in meditate in the app store, you'll find amazing apps that'll help you to actually like learn how to meditate, and you can do it on your own without your phone after a while. How about calling a friend? You can call a friend on the phone and have like an actual conversation. Just check up on your friend and see how they're doing. Like I personally think it would be really nice if I got that from my friends. For some reason, we're all like so anti-phone calls, but I sometimes would rather that than like sit there and text for like 30 minutes. Try having lunch or going to dinner even by yourself, or even Mike goes to movies all the time by himself. So he says he does. I don't know where he is, but go to lunch or dinner all by yourself and just like sit alone and people watch and just like breathe and just be in your head. Tip number 3, don't look at your phone first thing in the morning. So while I was on my retreat, we had an actual like battery powered alarm clock, and it was amazing. Like I would just turn it off. I wouldn't look at emails or texts that have come through or WhatsApps or DMs or comments, nothing. Just like start your day and don't have that like anxiety. Like we are literally fear-based creatures that are like ready for like an animal to come and pounce us. And I feel like our phones and technology sometimes can give you that same feeling of like fear and panic. Okay, tip number 4 I wrote down is therapy. I know I've talked about it in other videos, but you guys, you can go to like Talkspace. There's a couple of different apps that you can use that are amazing alternatives if you can't afford like a therapist in your area. But check and see, because sometimes insurance covers therapy, but it's so good to go and just get like things off your chest and talk to somebody who is unbiased, who actually has the tools to help you with whatever you're like dealing with. Okay, tip number 5 is hang out with your friends and support one another and stay off your phones. So I had 7 couples over to our house last weekend, and we had everyone give us their phones when they walked in the door, and it was amazing. We had a night of like people making eye contact, being super present. We did get a phone out to play a heads up, but it's because you have to. But definitely like try to encourage your friends at dinner to just like keep your phones in your purse. Don't even put it on the table. Like it's such a distraction. All right, tip number 6, and this is gonna be hard for everybody, but I'm telling you, if you start to get into the habit, it's called keeping your phone out of reach. And I have been really good about keeping my phone in my purse or keeping it in my car when I go to work out. Like I just think we are used to having our phone at our side 24/7. It's like another limb. Detach yourself from your phone every once in a while. Another bad habit that we're all guilty of is using your phone in bed. I used to tell Mike, I was like, I need an hour to do my Insta stories. Like I took pride in my Insta stories, and I still do, but I have allotted time now where I'm not doing it when I'm like first thing in the morning or when I'm going to bed. And that whole meditation thing I talked about back in number 4 is really great right before bed, because it'll help you just to like calm your mind down. Also, you guys, I truly feel like the light from your phone helps to keep you awake, and it makes it so your mind isn't like relaxing. So if anybody out there, I have so many friends that like say, oh, I don't sleep very well, I'm not a great sleeper, and cut to, or if they're jet lagged traveling, they're actually just scrolling through Instagram or like looking on Twitter, and just like you literally waste so many hours that you need sleep. Sleep is so important, so please put down the phone in bed. And tip number 8, you guys, we all have it on our phone. Pay attention to screen time. Like set a time limit for yourself for social media, because I think that we've all been there where you just fall down the rabbit hole. Most people are following like 1,000 people or more, and think about how much time in your day you're actually like wasting energy looking at other people's days. Like you need to go and live your own life. So shut the phone off after a certain amount of time and just go do something for yourself. Okay guys, so you know that I am all about like on an airplane, I don't really watch movies, but I like to read books that will like just help me either in business or help me in relationships. And so these are books that have really helped me to kind of set better boundaries. All right, so the first one here is Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Superheroes. The reason I love this book is that it basically connects the dots between ancient wisdom traditions and like modern mythologies of today, and talks about like superheroes and how they do it all, but do it without losing your mind. Then the next one is the 4-Hour Work Week. This is by Timothy Ferriss. This book's amazing because it helps you to learn the tools to like escape the rat race and how to just live more and work less. It's a bestseller. And then this book I just am starting, I haven't finished it yet, but it's called How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy. And it's by Jenny Odell. So basically this book, you guys, is a self-help guide for relearning how to look at the world, because we live in literally a app-driven, device-connected world. So it'll help you a lot. So guys, why did I think it was so important to do a video like this? Because we are the first generation to really be like connected to our devices and technology, and we have to navigate through this. But I think the more and more I talk to my friends and have like heart to hearts, like everyone's kind of losing their mind. And I think that like there's always something that's gonna get our attention throughout the day, and we're just all doing the most. So I think that like slow down and just take time to really like listen to what your mind and your body needs and what it's asking for. So good luck out there, you guys. I feel like we can all be better versions of ourselves, and it's never bad to pay attention to your mental health. If you like videos like this, let me know, because I've got a few things up here that I could talk about and help you guys. So let me know. Bye. Alright guys, if you've actually watched this far, I'm going to give you guys an extra added bonus feature. Think of it like a little Easter egg that you found. Okay guys, so these are kind of the things that I was working on and what I got from the Hoffman Institute, and I'm going to give you guys the rest of my notes that I took from my week there. But it really helped me to become more self-aware, my emotional well-being, like I never thought about, and it's so much better now. I feel like I have a better spiritual connection. I have such a better work-life balance that I never thought existed, but it definitely does. It helped me to move on from the past with a lot of things in my life. I have so much more gratitude and appreciation for things and the people in my life. It gave me a sense of purpose, and I know it sounds crazy, but it really truly let me just to kind of like see my life as a whole and have like a better purpose. I definitely got a ton of compassion and forgiveness, and I feel like I was lacking having empathy because I was just running on empty, and I was like so tired and everybody irritated me. I was just annoyed all the time. And I also got a lot of like love and compassion for my husband, and it was something that I just definitely needed. So here are the rest of my notes from my week. So for me, I also wanted to deal with my overflowing email box that's constantly stressing me out. I wanted to kind of map out a life plan, like what I really want to see for myself the next 5 years. And I just kind of wanted to like figure out a way to evolve, because you know, I have successful businesses. I really enjoy doing YouTube for you guys. I love creating content for Instagram. But I know that I was actually really guilty of always picking up my phone in times that like I didn't need to. So I've been really good about like giving myself a break throughout the day. Another thing I really needed help with, I don't know if you guys do, but having healthier communication with not only people that I work with, but with my husband and with my friends. And it really helped me to realize like how much a handwritten note or like a phone call to check up on somebody means so much more than just like an emoji or sending somebody like a quick text. I also needed help with setting boundaries. I'm not good at it. I've never been good at it, but I feel like I'm gonna get better at it. I'm trying to now in the mornings like wake up and have just me time and go work out, and again like not looking at my phone first thing and just like really setting the day off on a good note. Another thing to recognize, and Hoffman really helped me, was realizing patterns that you learn from your parents that sometimes can turn into like really vicious cycles. For me, it's saying yes to everybody, then being overworked, then being mad at myself because I'm overworked, and then saying yes to people, and I just do it over and over and over again. So I needed to learn how to break that vicious cycle. Something else that's very important to talk to you guys about is, I know you've probably heard this before, but showing success on Instagram. We're all guilty of doing this. So I think that we scroll through Instagram and we see all the magical, like filtered, great things happening in people's lives, but you don't necessarily like see the other stuff. And I have to say that I think that even though you might have a successful, shiny life on the outside, you don't know what people are going through, and outer success doesn't always produce like inner success. So people might feel still like they're unworthy or they're not lovable, and I think that it's really important to just keep that in mind as you're scrolling through Instagram, because it really is just like a filtered version of people's lives. It's not the whole picture. Another thing I think that we're all really scared of doing is kind of leaning into pain, which sounds really dramatic, but like if you're going through something that's really like hurtful, or you're stressed out about it and you feel like somebody wronged you, you have to remember that the world is a big place and there's somebody out there that's going through the same thing that you are, and just keep that in mind. Like you're not alone and it's gonna pass, and just like feel the pain and know that like you'll get through it. Okay, for all of you people out there dating, this is something I wrote down about relationship patterns. Because a lot of times, I mean, how many of you out there are guilty for falling for people who are like your dad or like your mom? So Hoffman really helped me to kind of recognize what those patterns were, and I'm getting a divorce. I'm just kidding. Hoffman really helped me to pick up the relationship patterns that people like. I know so many clients who have dated people that are like their dad or like their mom, so it's something to really be aware of. I know that mild depression is on the rise. I think the holidays can actually be really depressing for some people. So I would recommend you guys just reach out to your friends, anybody who's maybe alone, isn't close to their family, invite them to come over for Thanksgiving or the holidays. Just reach out to people and let them know that you're thinking about them. Another thing, I think that men aren't encouraged to talk about like if they're suffering, or I think men are just taught to like suffer in silence. So I think it's really important to kind of break that taboo and let guys know that it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel things, it's okay to ask for help. So find a guy that's suffering and tell him to get some help. All right, one thing I think that's super important to talk about is FOMO and comparing yourself to other people. And I talk to a lot of makeup artists and hairstylists that are kind of just starting out. I give them this advice over and over and over again that you have to really be careful, because like on your psyche, it will totally fuck you up. Like you need to know that like what you're seeing on Instagram is just the good stuff and not the bad. If you're starting to compare yourself and feeling jealous or like envious, just know that like that is that person's journey, and let them like have whatever success comes their way, and just focus on you and having like positive thoughts, because I think positive thoughts lead to positive actions and positive things. So you guys know that if you follow Way or Main Addicts, I am really big on having our teams like, we like to do it at least twice a year, but we like to either donate to charity or we do a charitable day where we help people in need. Main Addicts just teamed up with this amazing app called Help Everyone. Guys, if you're feeling down, go and volunteer. It's like one of the best things you can do, because it gets you out of your problems and helps you to just connect with someone who has a bigger problem than you. We just did an activation at Way where we packed period packs for people who are in need and don't have access to sanitation products. I can tell you that that is like the best days of our years at both brands. Like we love getting together and doing something good. So I highly recommend that. And then last but not least, just tell people that you love them in person versus just writing an emoji or sending them a text, and just get used to saying that, because it will always make somebody feel really good. So start doing that. And if you guys have any other tips on how you kind of unwind and how you're dealing with your own situations and stress of everyday life, let me know in the comment section below, and make sure that you guys like and subscribe.